What is up, Gemini? How are you guys doing? Time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's happening with y'all in the second week of August. So, if any of you need a personal reading, you can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But I also have a link for that in the description of this video, okay? All right, let's jump into this. Let's see what we can tell Gemini about their situation in the second week of August, universe. What's going on with Gemini and the person they're dealing with? Queen of Cups reversed. Three of Wands. Somebody is waiting on communication. Somebody is. And whoever's waiting, it don't look like much is happening. I ain't gonna lie. It don't look like much is happening. Honestly, kind of feels like both of you, in a way, are kind of waiting on each other. But it looks like a whole lot of waiting. So this here is luckily, the end of Mercury fucking retrograde. This one's been hard, man. I don't just say that, I'm not one of those people that over dramatizes retrogrades and shit, but this one has been hard, bro. So, I know we got post shadow and whatnot, but most of the time for me, post shadow really doesn't bother me that much. I can only think of one time over the last 3 or 4 years that post shadow has bothered me. But anyway, it still looks like there's a little bit of remnants of heavy energy dwindling throughout the week, but it is dying down. But it still kind of looks like a tense week of silence and, this weighing on you very heavily. Honestly, though, I kind of feel like the universe is doing you a favor. At least for right now. I don't know about later on down the line, but for this week, the universe is doing you a favor. Right? I don't know if it would be the greatest idea in the world for you to connect with this person right now. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're both waiting on each other. 2 of Wands and 3 of Wands. Yeah, okay. Some of you dealing with a Saggy. I also have Leo and Libra. Okay. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. But Knight of Swords is reversed. So let's see how they feel about you. What are their deepest intentions and feelings? Person Gemini is dealing with feelings, energies, and intentions. They don't know if it would be worth putting forth the work and the effort on this. They haven't made up their mind as to whether or not it's worth the work. Yeah, they're kind of trying to detach themselves from this, is what they're trying to do. Keyword trying, which means they haven't successfully. Ace of Pentacles, yeah. Well, they got feelings for you. They haven't moved on from this, but they feel like they have no choice but to move on from this because it's nothing but a bunch of drama. So, if for a minute they thought that the two of you could reconcile successfully, I think they would be all for that. But they're not convinced that the two of you would even be able to do that. In their mind, and I say that in all caps, in their mind, they've done everything that they can think to do, and nothing has worked in their mind. I'm not saying that they have, I don't know. In their mind, they have done everything. So, the way they see it, there's nothing left to do. I've tried everything. I've said everything. I've done everything. And it's nothing but a bunch of drama. So, I have no choice but to move on from this. Okay. Let's see the advice then. What's the advice? What's the advice for Gemini? Woo, 10 of Cups. Look at that. Hold up. What's that all about? What's that all about? Hang on. Knight of Cups. Ooh, okay. You got something new due to come in. Yeah. Oh, you got something new due to come in. And failure to release this person's energy is blocking it. It's blocking it. And when I say that very specifically. Because how many of you here lately have come to me for a general reading? And when you come to me for what's due to come in next, what's the first thing I look at? Those of you who get one of my general personal readings, the future, what's coming in next, the first thing I look at is the status of your last soul contract. And then the status of the energetic connection. You know why? Because that is what plays a role in what comes in next and when it comes in. What you've done with your past energy. Not just the past. You're not a victim of your past. I don't care what anybody says. No, just because you had something happen in the past doesn't guarantee that anything's going to happen in the future. It's what you do with your past. So, best case scenario, having past energy tethered to you will slow you down. And it'll really push the timeline out that the next person can come in. And it'll really slow it down. Worst case scenario, it'll completely block it from coming in altogether. So what that means is the next person due to come in is on a totally different vibrational frequency, is what that means. So that's a good thing though, right? It's going to demand a different version of you. This version of you, this version of you is a completely different person. Has a completely different outlook on the world. Completely different. And I think you're well on the way. But all I'm going to say is this energy does need to be released at some point. Is it possible to write a new contract with somebody? It is. Boy, that's hard work. When I say hard work, you and this person got to go David Goggins on this soul contract. That's how hard you got to fucking work. Hard. Hard. So, you shouldn't have to sit around and wait. If both of you were willing to work that hard to rewrite a new contract, you would already be doing it right now. So, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just saying, man, you got blessings due to come in that would fucking rock your socks off and blow your mind. But they can't come in until you release the baggage of this particular connection. Take that information and do with it what you will. Let's see what's happening with your love interest. This is for the singles. Single Geminis and the person you're interested in. What's happening second week of August? Single Geminis and your love interest. Single Geminis and your love interest. Do-do-do. Uh-oh, Eight of Swords reversed. Oh, shit. That's kind of telling me that it's getting harder and harder and harder for you to ignore certain red flags. Page of Pentacles reverse. Death reverse, though. So I'm not seeing any offers being made. Not seeing any offers being made. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all are not really making it to happily ever after status. This is what confuses me, though. This is what confuses me. I'm thinking that it's getting to a point where you're starting to see some red flags, or you're just getting to the point to where you can no longer ignore them. And some of you may suspect a third party. Or hell, maybe some of you are dealing with somebody who is in a third party situation. I don't know. I've gotten a bunch of those readings here lately. People dealing with somebody that's like already married or some shit, you know. But, you know, this is just the general overview here from your perspective. Them red flags are starting to get kind of loud, ain't they? Starting to get kind of loud. But I'm not seeing any offers being extended or accepted. Some of you dealing with a Capricorn. I also have Scorpio. All right, well, let's see how they feel about you and what their energy looks like. How does this person feel about Gemini? What's their energies, feelings, and intentions? Ooh, Moon card. Oh, they got a lot of secrets. Oh, they got secrets. Yes, they do. Yeah, they got secrets. They could see themselves with you. They could definitely see themselves with you. But I think, and this is the hard part, I do think that there is still a past person that they're in love with. But I can't tell if they are actively taking action to try to get back with that person. It doesn't really look like it. This looks more like one of those things where they're in love with a past person, you know, and they're really hoping that past person will come back. Doesn't look like it's happening right now. So they're entertaining other people, you know, but still really hoping that past person will come back. So, you know, entertaining you, and I'm taking things slow because deep down, I'm really hoping this past person will come back. So I'm taking it real slow with you. I wouldn't want to jump in head first with you and then the past person come back. I want them. So I'm taking it real slow with you. Taking it real slow, hoping and waiting and wishing that the past person comes back. But at the same time, they could see themselves with you. Oh, that gives me such a fucking headache. Let's just go straight to the advice. Let's go straight to the advice. I don't need a tarot card to tell you what the outcome of that would be. And you shouldn't need a reading to guess what the outcome of that would be. A fucking shit show. That's what the outcome of that would be. Let's get the advice, though. Let's see maybe if there's something you could do to influence the situation in a more positive manner, maybe. 9 of Cups. Ace of Cups. Boy! All right, King of Swords reversed. Well, I was hoping I'd be able to say something more profound than this. So I think you got one or two choices. Well, you got more than that. But one of two feasible choices. Either it's time to have the what are we conversation, or it's time to boot, scoot, and boogie. So I guess it would just kind of depend on the nature of the situation. Because, I mean, when it all comes down to it, not only do we not want to have the what are we conversation, but we shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to ask you what we are. You know? I shouldn't have to ask you, so where's this going? I shouldn't have to. But if it's to that point where this person's just been stringing you along and keeping you at an arm's distance and hot and cold, that's one of the biggest of all the readings I've done over the last week. Oh my God, I've heard the phrase hot and cold probably 50 times in the last week. It's been unreal. Hot and cold. This person is hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. Ain't no excuse for fucking hot and cold, dude. Ain't no excuse for it. Don't reward shitty behavior. The last thing you want to do when somebody goes cold is crank the heat up. That's the last thing you want to do. You go cold on me, shit. I'm gonna hit the liquid nitrogen on this shit. Ice cold. Don't reward sketchy behavior. You know? Don't reward inconsistency. You know, like texting one day and then just poof, ghost you. And then text you the next day like nothing happened. No. I know you always got your phone on you. You always on your goddamn phone. Every time I'm around you, you know I fucking what was that? Why did I hear from you? You ain't gonna tell me? Oh, okay. Well, two can play that game then. Then the next time they stop responding, you stop responding. And then when they try to text you back 14 hours later like nothing happened, don't respond to it. No, fuck you. Two can play that game. Don't let it turn into a game, but just let it be known that boundaries are to be had and you ain't gonna be played with. I'm not here to play fucking games. We're either doing this or we're not. So do you think your situation is appropriate to have that conversation? But I'm telling you, before August is over, before September gets here, clarity needs to be had. Confusion needs to be cleared away. And you need to have a real good idea of where this connection is going. If you don't have a clear view of where this connection is going on September 1st, I would boot, scoot, and boogie if I was you. No more beating around the bush. No more hints and suggestions. No more saying the same fucking thing you already said 100 goddamn times and not doing nothing to back it up. No, we're doing this or we're not. I'm done hearing it. I'm done hearing what you want to say, hearing you tell me what I want to hear. I want to see something. If I don't see something, you gonna see me disappear in a fucking puff of smoke. Like the cartoons from back in the day. Poof, puff of smoke, I'm gone. Deuces. All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Gemini family needed to hear. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is down here in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.